Oh, legs are getting heavy already. Welcome to this week's video. This is going to be an interesting one. So the hour world record is currently held by Victor Campenaerts, and I've currently got it on my phone. I think around 55, just over 55 kilometers he achieved in around about an hour. And this was done at altitude, so the air is a little bit thinner. He's very aerodynamic, obviously, when riding on the bike, but because the air is thinner, it means that he can actually go a little bit quicker for any given amount of power. But because this record was completed in Mexico at altitude, his power numbers were significantly lower, obviously because there's less oxygen in the air, than if, for example, Victor was to do it at sea level. So that's what happens. You go up to altitude, there's less sort of air resistance due to the reduced amount of air up there. However, there's also less oxygen. So less power they're putting out on the bike, but less drag as well. So from my research, please do let me know in the comments down below if I am wrong, but the current world record at sea level is still held by Bradley Wiggins. He completed around 54.5 kilometers in that 60-minute time period. But because he completed this in a velodrome in London, obviously a lot more air resistance because he was at sea level, but he could put out a lot more power because there was obviously a lot more oxygen in the air. Because my house and my bungalow is at sea level, I'm going to be completing this challenge trying to match Bradley Wiggins' power rather than Victor Campenaerts' power. There's a lot of speculation around what the power he actually held for the hour was, and of course whenever they do these world records they don't publish the power numbers everywhere for people to see. I'm not sure why, but maybe because they think people will be able to beat it. I'm not sure that's the case. Just because I know a number doesn't mean I can hold it for an hour. But Victor Campenaerts at altitude was said to hold around about 360 watts for the whole hour, which is ridiculous in and of itself. But Bradley Wiggins at sea level was said to hold somewhere between 400 and 440 watts for the hour. I think you'll agree, that's just stupid. So what I'm going to do today is attempt to hold Bradley Wiggins' power. We're going to go for 420 watts. Okay, pause there for a second. Just done a little bit more research and again found some different numbers. So whenever I say 420 in this video, we're actually going to aim for 440. Read somewhere it was between 420 and 460 now. So we're just going to go with 440. Why not go a little bit higher? So whenever I say 420 for the next 1 or 2 minutes, I mean 440. This is the 440 watt challenge. Bradley Wiggins, I'm coming for you. And see how far I can get. Well, I'm not actually going to see how far I can get because I'm going to do it on the indoor trainer on Zwift, but I'm going to see how long I can hold 420 watts for. Just so you've got a bit of an idea, my current FTP is around 310 watts, so I can hold around about 310 watts for an hour. So my guess is that I'm going to be able to hold 420 watts for, I don't even know, maybe even 2 to 3 minutes. So this could be a very short video. If it's under a minute, I might not even publish this, but if you are watching this, I'll probably held it for longer than a minute. But I think it's just going to be really interesting for you guys, hopefully, to see. Maybe try this at home as well afterwards, but just to see what an average, or maybe a slightly above average cyclist, how they compare to someone like Bradley Wiggins or those top level pros. But enough rambling from me. Let's now go and get changed. We'll hop on the bike and we'll give this a go. I'm going to give it a 20-minute warm-up just to get the legs going and then see how long we can hold 420 watts. So wish me luck and I'll see you on the bike. Okay, so we're here. Apologies for the fan noise in the background, but I think you'll agree, fan needs to be on full blast for this challenge. Just coming up to 15 minutes now, just finishing up the warm-up. I'll chuck the Zwift screen on screen in a minute, but during my research I also found out that Bradley Wiggins weighed in anywhere between 69 and 74 kilos while he was cycling professionally. Now he's exactly the same height as I am, 190 centimeters or 6'3". So the fact that he weighs about, I don't know, 14 kilos less than I do, I'm about 84, 14 kilos less than I do, means he probably had a lot less muscle than I do now. So technically, putting out 440 watts of power should be easier for me in terms of strength, but then keeping that up for any longer than, who knows, 2 or 3 minutes could be a bit of a struggle. So what we're also going to do for this is not use the trainer mode. So obviously I could stick it in trainer mode and the Wattbike could hold me at 440 watts. But when, you know, they're doing the hour record, when Bradley did the hour record, he doesn't have that. He's just pacing it the best he can himself. Obviously he'll know his power, but he'll pace it himself. So that's what I'm going to do today as well. So obviously my power might fluctuate above and below 440, but I'll try and keep it as close to there for as long as I possibly can. On Zwift, what I'm doing as well is I'm setting my trainer difficulty to off. So obviously when you're on Zwift, you can have the resistance change on the bike depending on what hills you're going up, etc. So I've turned that off, bearing in mind that the hour record's done on a velodrome, there's no hills and any of that stuff. So that'll give me the best chance possible to try and maintain the power if I can. Okay, so we are about a minute away from going for it. So on 20 minutes, when it says 20 minutes on the top right hand corner, elapsed time, that's when we're going to go for it. So however long I last after the 20 minutes is my time. If you have a look at the screen, obviously top left you've got my power, so how many watts I'm putting out, warming up at 200, but then obviously 440 is the goal for as long as possible. You've got my revolutions per minute and then my heart rate there next to it too. So they're the main things to look out for. And let's just see how we go. Apologies for the funny angle, that's all I could manage. Hopefully you can hear me over the fan. Not that I'm going to be speaking anyway, but let's see how we get on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, let's try and get to 440, that's the first challenge. Okay, he's even trying to get to 440. There we go. That's a win over a minute. Oh, legs are getting heavy already. Oh, that's it. Wow. That's ridiculous. My heart rate didn't even have a chance to get up to max. It was just the legs, everything pulling in the legs, stopping and working. We'll do the replay, but I reckon that's probably not even 2.5 minutes, and then it started dropping. That's ridiculous that someone can hold that for 1 hour. Absolutely mind-boggling. Well, this is going to be a shorter video than I first imagined, but we lasted over a minute, which is I don't know, it's a win in my book. Right, I'm going to finish off the session, going to go for an hour, might do 1 or 2 more bursts, probably not 440. Let's see what we can do, but I'll catch you once I've showered, cooled down, and my legs feel like normal rather than being like wet noodles right now. Catch you in a minute.
Well, there we go. I'm all showered, I'm recovered, and I think it's safe to say that went exactly as I expected. I didn't last very long, and I know I've been saying that quite a few times through the video. I now realise how bad that sounds. Didn't last too long on the bike. So I'll chuck it up on screen now and the power started dropping, but around about 2 minutes and 8 seconds is about how long it took me to start to fail and not be able to hold 440 watts. But it did take me a little while actually to get to 440 watts in the first place. So who knows what the actual time is, but let's go for around 2 minutes. So it's absolutely staggering to think that somebody can hold that for an hour. That's just completely ridiculous. And it just shows how much better the pros are
than someone who's a little bit above average at cycling. Do give it a go at home. Let me know down in the comments below how long you lasted. This is sounding really bad the further I get into this video. Let me know how long you can last at 440 watts on the bike down below. That sounds a bit better. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. My legs didn't really enjoy making it, but I had a lot of fun. And I will see you guys in next week's video. Don't forget to subscribe. Catch you in the next one.